What's up, you beautiful collectors and action figure fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Molecule8 1/6 scale John Lennon. Suffice it to say, a figure that has had a lot of conversation about it for a while. In this video, I am going to do my absolute best to kind of remain focused on the figure and not get into too much of that drama. Most of you that know about the figure know about all that stuff, and it's, in my opinion, a little bit more professional to stay focused on reviewing the figure that we're getting. So that being said, one thing that I do want to give Molecule8 props for is the packaging. As you can see, this is the box for the actual figure, but it's shipped to you in kind of like this mailer. As you can see, it's just this brown box, but it is very thick. It's kind of like doubled up, so it nicely protects it. And then you can see right up here and down in the bottom section is this white foam, and then moving this kind of down as well, you also have that on the back, and this is put in the different corners to protect the edges of this box, which I really do appreciate. So let me get this out of the way right now. And then on the side here is the additional accessory, which is John Lennon's guitar. But I really appreciate that they went above and beyond in terms of protecting that box. A lot of collectors like getting those perfect boxes, and I feel like this mailer box that we have here really does do a nice job of protecting it. Now, because these are white boxes, I did lower the exposure a little bit so we can see them a little bit better. But as I showed you, you do have this nice, very clean white package both on the guitar box as well as the main figure box, which I like. It's a very, like I said, clean and classy look. And for me, really does give kind of the impression of John when he was in the music video playing the piano. He was in a gorgeous all-white room with some windows, and I think that a really nice white box like this nicely kind of homages that. But you can see that very heavy-duty boxes here. You come around to the back, you got a little like guitar pick right there, and then you just open this up just like so. On the inside, you have some foam, and then you have the guitar. Several of the guitar picks here have fallen out of their little holes right there, but you have the guitar, which we'll take a closer look at in a bit. And then I really like how this is kind of like a blue felt on the other piece of foam on there. That's really very, very sharp. Now putting this down, closing this back up, getting this out of the way. Again, taking a look at the box itself. Very nice, clean lettering on here. It says, "Imagine" with John Lennon's signature. It's not his real signature, but a replication of it. So you come around to the side, you got that same logo right up there. Same thing on the opposite side, you do have the Molecule8 logo on the bottom. Come around to the back of the box, and it's actually upside down. So let me flip it around, but there you have the various warnings and things of that nature. Molecule8, Molecule8 right there. And the top has that signature of John Lennon. And then again, we're gonna put this down, slide this up, do the plop. There we go. And then again, you have that nice blue, I don't want to say like crushed velvet, but it's really very, very sharp. And then you can remove this. I mean, yeah, you can kind of see that it's blue, and then on the back side is black. And then the inside here has all of the accessories. The figure, obviously the figure's not here because I don't want to spoil that for you guys yet. For the packaging though, that's about it. There's a lot to go over with this figure, so let's get this guy out here and see how cool he actually is. And here we have him opened up and out of his packaging. And while, yes, there are a few issues that I do have with this figure, and I'll get into that, overall, I'm very pleased with what we're getting. Now, starting off first with his accessories, coming down for that, he comes with a decent amount. It's fairly simple, but what I like is that you basically get 3 different looks for him. Now, starting off first, in addition to the 2 fairly relaxed hands that are on him, he does get a pair of hands that are, I guess, more like a cupping kind of hand. You can see that the fingers are sculpted together, probably to go along with, maybe holding his guitar here, which we'll take a look at. That's a guess on my part. And then you also do get a pair of hands that are almost like in a piano gesturing pose, or kind of in a position that you could have him strumming the guitar. They are slightly different. You can see that the ring finger here on this one is brought down a little bit more than this one. Well, maybe you can see it, but you can kind of see that they are sculpted a little bit differently, which I like. That's a nice additional touch. But you can see some nice detail on the back here, nice sculpting with some veins and things of that nature. The overall skin tone is fairly decent. You got a nice kind of reddish flesh sort of look to it. I do wish there was a little bit more variations in the paint, kind of showing the imperfections in the skin, but in general I'm pretty happy with how both of those turned out. Now, as I was talking about, you basically can get 3 different looks for him. As you can see, he's got his suit on here, which is what he wore in the actual Imagine video. You can swap all of this out with another outfit that he had, that being, I forgot the name of the show, but he did a television talk show where he wore these white cargo pant sort of things, which again look really very nice. Some nice pocket detail here that actually are pockets. The front section here has a Velcro section, so you can easily put them on and off and then put that on there. So those look really nice. They're a little bit clean and static. You could probably get those a little bit more, wrinkled and everything, kind of bell-bottom shaped. And then when he wore these, he also wore this jacket. Now, this is kind of funny because the name on it is very close to my name. You can see Reinhardt, which my last name is the exact same except for the D. I just thought that was kind of funny. You can see it says U.S. Army. Now, people have kind of talked about this, that there's additional patches that you can put on here. I want to say that I'm not going to put them on or anything, but I think they're just like sticker sort of ones that you can apply to the sleeves of them. It's a nice touch. It gives more of an accurate sort of look. In terms of why they didn't put on there, in reading some different threads and things of that nature, they were concerned that these would fall off during shipping, so they just left them on there so that you could put them on, which I think is nice. But it's just this green army sort of jacket, and then you would mix this with this, and you have a secondary look for him. Now, while he was on that TV show, he was also that's a little trick. He was also wearing these boots, I believe. You can take a look and see that they have some nice detail on the inside, and I'll highlight that here in a bit. So you would just take these boots off and you would use it with this outfit. Another outfit that he had was during the creation of the Imagine video. And to recreate that, all you need to do is leave those pants on. You would take those boots off, and I'll show that here in a bit. And then you have this long sleeve t-shirt. Now, the only thing that's different really about this is there was like a little apple on it. They weren't able to get the licensing for that, so they couldn't put that little apple on there. So this is a little bit inaccurate in terms of how it actually looked in that Imagine creation video, but it's still really very nice. And then what you would do, you would take the whole jacket and everything off, you would put this on, you would leave these pants and the belt on them, and then these pop off, and you would replace it with this. Now, this is really kind of cool. I'll highlight this here more in a bit, but you have him wearing just a pair of flip-flops. What I absolutely love is it's like a separate piece. You can kind of see like there's his toes right there, and then the little middle section kind of goes all the way through there. I mean, they're really very, very cool how that looks. So again, like I said, you basically have 3 different looks for him, and to kind of facilitate that a little bit more, as you can see, you have one portrait on there, which is just him kind of standing there, mouth is closed. You have another one that has an open singing mouth. So again, you can kind of mix and match, and I'll take a closer look here in a little bit, but you can create different looks for him, which I think is fantastic. In addition to that, you get 2 pairs of sunglasses. Now, these absolutely blow me away. Coming in here as close as I possibly can, because they are very, there we go, they're very tiny. These are made out of metal. Most glasses that are made in 1/6 scale are made out of plastic, and because of it, have a thickness to them that just makes them look a little bit unrealistic. These look amazing. You can see you have a very nice brownish tint, which again, fairly accurate to what he wore in both the music video and in the creation video. I want to say that these glasses, I can get it to focus, there we go, it's so very hard to, because they're so tiny, but you can see that these ones here have a clear lens. I want to say that these are the ones that he wore on the TV show, and I did look it up. It's the Dick Cavett show, but you can see that you got two different ones there that are absolutely terrific. Like I said, made out of metal and just have a much more realistic look because of the thinness. But because of the thinness, you do want to be careful when you're putting them on there. I mean, they are a little bit more fragile, and if you're paying this much for a figure, you do want to be careful just in general, but still made out of metal, and there is still some durability with them. Just be careful when you're playing around with them. And then, like I said, that just goes along with changing the outfit in the look form, which I think is fantastic. One other thing that you do get is this little tool. Now it's white, so it's going to be hard to see, but what's cool is when you have it like this, it's a little bit harder to get these buttons to kind of go in there. So what you want to do is you want to take this, you put it through here, just like that, come to the other side where the button is, kind of hook that, and then you just pull this through. Be slightly careful. I mean, you don't have to be too terribly careful. It feels like it's fairly rigid. So you just pull that. Come on. There we go. Just like that. And now you have the button attached to it. And then you would just pull this all the way out. And now you have the jacket done up, which I think that's great. Especially because it can be a little bit tricky to do that with your fingers. I think that's a nice little tool to include with it, and I'm fairly glad that they did. Now, in terms of the other accessories, he comes with a guitar. I'm trying to remember when he played the guitar. Now, some people talked about how they feel like this is too small. I'm not a guitar expert, so I can't tell you, but I think, in general, I think it looks pretty good. I feel like it fits pretty decently, but great detail on here. This is all like made out of plastic, but you can see a really nice wood grain on there. Coming in to take a little bit closer of a look, you can see it kind of blended in there, and then you look at the back, and again, you can see a really nice wood style grain molded into the plastic. I mean, absolutely gorgeous looking. You do have real strings that you probably can't play anything, but you know, you can do whatever you want. You got the little thingies up here and all the little buttons. You do get a strap for it, which looks really very good. Very, I guess, retro 60s with the pattern and everything. You also do get, I don't know what exactly, no, well, if I can pick it up, maybe I can't even pick it up to show you. No, you do get this kind of goldish string. I don't know exactly what this goes to. Again, I'm not a guitar person. I would imagine there, get it? Imagine. I would guess that it's something to do with the guitar. I just don't know, but I think it's really gorgeous. Nice paint applications on the back there. Looks really very, very nice. I'm going to set this off to the side, and then you do get 3 guitar picks. These are going to be very difficult to show because of how tiny they are, and I'm dropping them, so let me zoom in here. Maybe if it'll focus. There we go. You can see a little symbol on there that says John Lennon, a JL, and that says that on both sides. So you do get a total, if it'll focus again, you do get a total of 3 of these, but they're tiny, so be very careful. One complaint that I would, I guess, bring up is none of the hands really make it so that you can hold these. I mean, you would hold it, you know, like in your fingers, and you would strum the guitar. There's no hands that you can do that with this, so that's a little unfortunate. I wish they included something along those lines, but I think that just playing a guitar with your fingers like this, you could probably still do that. So you don't necessarily need to have it, but if you're going to include those little picks, it would be nice to get something to go along with it. The other thing that I absolutely love is the base. You can see very nice base. It has tempered glass on the top, so there is some weight on it. It's a very clean white base.
then you come around to the bottom, and you got some cat hair on there. It says, Imagine John Lennon, the Yoko Ono Lennon estate and all that kind of stuff is on there. The thing that is amazing about this that I absolutely love is that it's magnetic. Both the flip-flopped feet, as you can see, have metal sections that sit right on there. So you don't need to have a crotch grabbing thing to come up and put any damage or anything on the clothing. The boots have it as well. And that is a good, solid magnet. You can see it's on there really sturdily. I mean, I'm really quite impressed with that. And it stands there perfectly fine. You don't need to have any of that. You can just position the legs how you want, and the magnets grab hold of it so that he stands fantastically. Really a simple thing that I think is just wonderfully executed. Like I said, I like the clean white look of it. Got a nice reflection from the glasses. Overall, absolutely gorgeous piece. But for his accessories, that's it. Like I said, a lot of it has to do with the fact that you get several different outfits for him, which affords you the ability to kind of display him how you want. Be that TV show, the creation of the music video, or the music video itself. So you can pick really what you want. But for his accessories, that's about it. Now, coming in to take a closer look at the figure, I'm really very impressed with the likeness on this. I think they did a terrific job. Now, some people talked about how like the neck looks too long. When he's naked, yeah, it kind of does. But when you have his clothes on him like this, and when you futz with it a little bit better, I think it looks pretty darn good. But the overall likeness, I think, is very, very impressive. One thing, I don't know how well this is going to come across, but John Lennon actually has two little kind of like moles or something on the side of his face, and they actually have that sculpted and painted into the texture. But you can see amazing likeness. I think the eyes look really good. I think the facial structure looks really nice. The hair is kind of segmented in a way where you can lift this bit away a little, and then it's careful when you're doing it. You can see that he's got his sideburns, but that's an easy way to get the glasses on him. You kind of lift that away and then tuck the glasses through there. But I think that looks terrific. Now bringing in the other portrait to show that this is singing. Now one thing that I love about this, I want to get in as close as I can. One thing that's very noticeable with John Lennon is that his teeth are actually crooked. It's like they're chipped or something in the very front, and on this, if it'll focus, it kind of does. You can kind of see that there is some slight deformity to his teeth, which look amazing. I love that they were able to capture that. And then again, you can see the side here are his little moles. I don't know if, like, if I lift this kind of away, yeah, you can definitely see them right there a lot better. I mean, that's really nice attention to detail, and I do like the singing portrait. I think both of them are really very nice. I think they both absolutely capture the look for John Lennon, and as I said, either one of these you can put his glasses. So doing that, all you have to do, like I said, is it's a little bit easier to kind of lift that hair away a little and then kind of put that in. It is a little bit tricky to do, but kind of just wedge that in there and then kind of work it in as best as you kind of can. It's not the easiest thing to do because the hair is there, but angle this, get that kind of position right. But I think that really nicely completes the look. And like I said, these glasses are a little bit more how they looked on the Dick Cavett show, so that is a really good look for him. And then bringing in these ones with the little bit more brownish yellow tint were a little bit more how they looked in the Imagine Making video, as well as the video itself. So again, just slide that on here. I'm gonna do this real quick, and again, that really does complete the look. I think that looks phenomenal. Just really very, very nice. Now, taking a look at the rest of this outfit, you can see that it's a couple different layers here. Really nice detail on the jacket. A very kind of felt sort of material, or I don't actually know what it would be made of, but it has a very soft texture to it. Some nice patterns and everything. You open it up, you can see that he does have a nice blue shirt on the inside. You got the whole collar. There's his belt, his pants tend to look like they droop a little bit, so fix that a little bit. And then the pants, very simple. You got some pockets right here, but very simple, just black pants. But I love these boots, very accurate to the pair that he wore. Some nice pattern on there with the white, and then some sort of stitch work throughout the entire thing. And then even when you look at the bottom, it has a really nice dirt kind of look to it, which gives it a very realistic sort of feel. And then let me come back here and kind of fix this. Now, the thing that makes this kind of a special figure is it's the first real official figure that's been released that has utilized a seamless body. The entire body is made out of, and I'll do a comparison later on, but is made out of a silicone composition where it's not entirely silicone, mostly so that it has a durability to it. And with that, it does have some issues. I'll bring that up here in a bit, but it really does nicely allow for a good range of articulation with the figure, which is really only limited by the endoskeleton that's underneath it. An endoskeleton that kind of replicates how a real body would work. So you do have a ball joint here at the upper part of the neck, so you get a nice range of motion, left and right, up and down, kind of wiggles a little bit. But then the neck itself does have a joint so that you can bring it down to get him looking down nice and far. Push that right back up. It also goes side to side, so you get a lot of range of motion there. The shoulders here are nicely articulated. You do want to kind of move the jacket as you do it, but you can bring it up fairly easily to about there, I would imagine, because that body underneath does kind of replicate a real person's kind of range of motion. You probably can get more with it, just the suit kind of restricts it. Goes in and out. It does, bringing it up, it does rotate. It feels like it rotates at the elbow more than the actual bicep, but you can see you do have the rotation there. Real deep bend here at the elbow itself. Come down to the wrists. Those are on ball joints. This one is a little bit, I don't know if I have this pushed in all the way. Oh, I don't think I do. There we go. Okay. So you do have a ball joint right there. So a nice range of motion with the wrists, the waist, and the upper ab area does have a crunch. So you can bring that down just like so. You can rotate it side to side. Goes side to side like that. The legs move forward, but again, a little bit of a restriction in the pant area, but not too terribly much. Moves in and out. Bends very nicely at the knee. Also does rotate. I don't necessarily think it's up here. It feels more like it's down here at the knee itself, but good range of motion there. And then the ankles, they are on ball joints, but because the boot comes up fairly high, it's a little bit more limited. If you take that whole boot thing off and create that look where he's like wearing this and the flip-flops, you're gonna get a lot more range of motion with that ankle. Now, as I was talking about, there are some issues that have come up with the figure, and it does have to do with the body of it. So let's get this guy naked and show you what I'm talking about. Now, taking off this shirt here allows me to do a couple things for you guys. Number one, it allows me to show you the way that the silicone body actually functions. And it also allows me to highlight a problem that has been affecting some figures. And unfortunately, has happened with mine. For whatever reason, underneath the arm, there has been some splitting. Now, as you can see, this one is perfectly fine. There's no issues coming in to take a closer look at the armpit. But on this one, you can see it is split. Now, that is not how it's supposed to be. I have read some reviews. They thought that that was the way that it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like that, guys. I did see some people kind of complaining about it, so immediately when I got mine, I took the shirt off and everything, and I checked it out to see, and unfortunately, I did discover that problem. Now, fortunately, though, I also read that Molecule8 is really doing their best now to fix any kind of customer concerns. So I contacted them and they sent me a brand new body. And I'm happy to report that this one doesn't have any problems with armpits. But having this fully naked figure allows me to show you really how the body works. So you see that, as I talked about, it does have these metal bits on here. The entire endoskeleton is made out of that heavy duty metal. The whole body itself, as I talked about, is made out of this silicone sort of substance, which combines silicone and some other stuff to, from what I read, extend the life of the seamless body. I mean, they are not the first company to utilize the seamless body, but they are really trying to bring it to the mainstream. But you can see, like, underneath the clothes, it's fairly generic. I do want to kind of, this is funny, somebody complained that he does have like a belly button. You can kind of see it right there. They're like, why has he got a belly button but he doesn't have nipples? Well, he kind of does. You can kind of see it like right there and there, that there is nipples that are molded into the body, and yeah, you can see some like abdominals right there, and then the pectorals and everything. So it is there. Obviously, it's not completely anatomically correct, but I feel like what they did in terms of putting some of these kind of sculpted details in here allows things like the shirt and the pants, obviously, to get filled out and look a little bit more natural. So again, if you guys have any problems with the body or anything like that, yeah, there's this, but really simply, all you have to do is email Molecule8. And like me, you should be able to get a replacement body as well. All right, now, I know I said I wasn't going to really talk about this too much, but let's address the elephant in the room. There has been a substantial amount of drama surrounding this figure and the public relations of the company. It hasn't been the best, to say the least. And that's unfortunate because the figure at the end of the day is actually a really solid release. And I feel that unfortunately, because of that PR snafu, it may turn some collectors off to this piece. Regardless of the way things were handled, I am very happy with how this figure turned out. At the $300 price point for him, I do feel that what you're getting is worth it. The likeness with both portraits is fantastic. There is no doubt in my mind when I look at that face who I'm looking at. In this day and age with 6-scale figures, it's really important to nail the likeness right up front. And I feel that Molecule8 has done that. In terms of the outfits, as I said, you basically get 3 of them. And as you can see with this one, you can kind of mix and match it. Obviously, when he was wearing this outfit, he wasn't wearing those, but you only get 1 pair of boots. So because I had that extra body that was damaged, which is this one, I was able to put the outfit on him, but I had to use those feet. So it's fine. Like I said, it gives you some options, which goes along with the accessories. While he doesn't come with a lot, the extra outfits do double as extra accessories. And then things like the glasses and the display stand really take things a little bit further than what any other 6-scale company is currently giving us. And while all that's nice, one of the most innovative aspects about this figure is the use of the seamless silicone body. As I said, we have gotten silicone bodies in the past. To my knowledge, though, no company other than Molecule8 has taken that seamless body and made it a part of an official release. Most of the seamless bodies that are floating around are used to basically make custom figures. And what we've gotten from things like Hot Toys are only partial seamless bodies, like with the arms or the legs, like with Wonder Woman. And while, yeah, there are concerns about these bodies, a lot of collectors seem to forget that there are concerns with those Hot Toy figures as well. So it's a relatively new kind of approach to creating these 6-scale figures. And everybody has some bugs that they're working out. One thing that I really do appreciate with Molecule8 is their willingness, after that original PR kind of snafu, to focus on creating a good experience for their customers. Yes, this figure has taken a long time to come out. Yes, there have been a lot of different things said and kind of promised, but at the end of the day, they've released a solid looking figure that, if there are problems with it, they're willing to do their best to fix it. Which, let's be honest, is more than we can say for a lot of the Hot Toy figures. A lot of people have had problems with those seamless bodies, and when they try returning them, they're told tough luck. So I appreciate the effort that Molecule8 is now putting into these to make collectors happy. At the end of the day, this is a figure I do recommend. People have complained about the price point, and as I said, with the inclusion of 3 different outfits, some really nice innovative accessories, and 2 portraits, I feel that $300 is a pretty decent price for this. So all the problems aside, if you are a John Lennon or a Beatles fan, this is definitely a figure that I would recommend picking up. Now, depending on where you pre-order him from, he's kind of getting released in waves. The majority of people, though, that I feel have pre-ordered them have been getting them. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate your support by letting me know simply by hitting that thumbs up button. It actually does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, welcome. And before you go, make sure you subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you'll get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out on a future review of mine. Or hey, if you already subscribed, now more than ever it's important to make sure that you're getting those email notifications. We all know just how unreliable that YouTube subscription box is, and the best way to help support my channel and not miss any future reviews of mine is to click on that little bell right below this video and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And a huge thank you if you made it all the way to the end of this review. Another way that you can really help support my channel is making sure that you watch a video all the way through. And if you did that, thank you. And a huge shout out to all of my patrons who through their continued support helped to make reviews like this possible. And finally, remember, the real trouble with the world is too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.